Nintendo's had a very good year in 2017. With the launch of the Nintendo Switch and games like Super Mario Odyssey and Legend of Zelda Breath of the Wild, there really has been a bit of buzz surrounding the company. And as one analyst tells it, Nintendo's given the whole industry a big shot in the arm.
The Nintendo Switch was launched in March this year, and let's face it, things have been going great for Nintendo ever since. Their hybrid console, which is both a system to play on your TV and to take out with you on the go, has been such a success, in fact, that according to GamesIndustry.biz, quote, it's almost single-handedly driving the hardware market with its Switch bundle sales. The last official sales figure we got for the Switch was back in September, when over 7.5 million Switch units had been sold worldwide. While we're still yet to see official statistics from data group NPD for the last few months, analysts have told GamesIndustry.biz that, quote, Nintendo is definitely the story behind the huge sales of Black Friday and Cyber Monday.
According to Adobe, this Cyber Monday was the biggest online shopping day in US history, with a record $6.6 billion spent on tech and entertainment. That's up 17% from 2016's Cyber Monday. Black Friday itself made $5 billion in sales in the US alone. As for 2017 in general, almost 15 million console bundles have been sold in North America this year, compared to 11.6 million last year. And IDC research director Lewis Ward said, quote, nearly all of this is due to Switch, implying the Nintendo Switch, not it's gonna switch.
You know, Switch is it's kind of a good name, but it's like shorthanding Call of Duty World War II to just World War II. Like, World War II was great. No, it was a war, but maybe they're just talking about a game, you know?
And the quote continues with, Nintendo shipped less than 400,000 Wii U bundles last year in North America. This year alone, Switch will ship over 5.2 million in the region. That's an insane turnaround. Ward said that the industry shouldn't lose the forest for the trees though, and said Nintendo is back with a vengeance. Quote, I'm also expecting Q4 2017 hardware bundle shipments to be up about 25% compared to Q4 2016 in North America. And as I said, the big spike here is due to Nintendo's rebound.
That's a good inflection there. That's probably how he was talking.
And as I've said before,
as I've stated,
my name's Lewis Ward and I'm a director on the EDC or the IDC. I don't care.
Doesn't matter. It's the
King God of
company.
We did it! So the Wii U was Nintendo at its absolute worst. I think that'll probably go down when people look back at it as Nintendo's worst console, right?
Yep.
So anything Nintendo would have done after that probably would have looked like a success. But there's something about the Switch that is just really catching on now. Loads and loads of people are talking about it. People that were complete skeptics early on in March, April time, are now wanting one for Christmas. And if it's not this year, it'll be next year when there's a bigger game catalogue. It's undeniable that the Nintendo Switch's popularity is absolutely smashing previous Nintendo consoles since probably, the Wii about 11 years ago.
It's like Dream Start as well, because not only is the console hardware great, the software is good as well. So it's got, strongly reviewed games, and not even strongly reviewed. I mean, people saying Zelda Breath of the Wild's
greatest of all time.
Let's all just settle down. It is an incredibly highly rated game, and so is Super Mario Odyssey. So they've got two belters in the launch year of a system that's reviewing very well itself, and people really seem to enjoy it. And you compare that to like the PS4 and the Xbox One. It just felt a bit like the PS4 and Xbox One felt like perfunctory upgrades. They were just like, oh, it's just the new one, so I got to get it. Whereas that's not the case with the Switch. The Switch has had teething problems. Very early on when it first came out, there were people talking about the screen being scratched by the docking case and stuff. All this stuff is drowned out by the positivity. That's very good for Nintendo.
Nintendo actually released the console in a very weird time, and a lot of people were sort of, why are you releasing it now? Christmas is just gone. Rather than a console releasing like in November, but it's so it can, iron out all of these problems ready for Christmas. Overall, it looks like this risk by Nintendo releasing a console in a very unusual time has completely paid off.
It almost sounds like a masterstroke almost, because it's exactly right. Because when it came out, people were saying, oh, it's got Breath of the Wild and all else. There's no other launch titles with it. It's got all this software now, and that's exactly right. They've had like months and months to build up this games library in time for Christmas. What a great move. So what of the other consoles, the PS4 and Xbox One, and their more powerful upgraded versions? Well, Sony's just said that Black Friday this year was the best in PlayStation's 23-year history. Head of PSN Eric Lempel said, quote, we sold more consoles than we ever have in our 23-year history, and PlayStation Plus is a natural addition to that purchase. Last month, Sony Corp reported Profits were up 346%. The majority of that was fueled by the PlayStation business. We're having a phenomenal year.
And going back to our mate Lewis Ward from IDC Research for a moment, he says his research implies PS4 will outsell Xbox overall in North America this year. GamesIndustry.biz says the Xbox One X is selling admirably for a console at $500, with industry analysts doubling their estimates for it at the start of November. But David Cole of DFC Intelligence warned there is, quote, an issue of limited demand for a high-end game system. The Xbox One X is now selling to the people who have a lot of money and want the latest and greatest, but that audience will dry out quickly. He also said, quote, PS4 overall is doing well, but the PS4 Pro has underperformed. So I think Black Friday shows that the audience for fancy graphics is limited. If you offer something new and unique like the Switch does, consumers will go for it.
Cole says Xbox performed miserably this year, but should see a solid November and December at least, thanks to deep Xbox One S discounts and better than expected performance for the more powerful Xbox One X. I think it's very interesting what the analysts are saying about the more powerful hardware consoles, because Xbox One X and PS4 Pro have both been disappointments, and that they're saying that the improved graphics is not what the majority of consumers want. But if you do like what Nintendo have done and come up with something that actually has an angle and a selling point, and importantly games that people want to play, then they'll buy it. They won't necessarily buy something that has got a higher resolution and you don't see as much aliasing in games and stuff like that. That's not a great selling point to the vast majority of the consumers out there, is what they're saying. That is very interesting, something for the games companies to think of, and they're probably already reacting to this in the boardrooms and stuff now.
Being an analyst, every single thing that comes out your arse is like a quote. Yeah. This guy said it's going to do great. This guy said it's going to do not so great.
I mean, I'm sure they look at a lot of graphs and whatnot, but
yeah. And another key to being a great analyst is you have to come from a company with 3 letters: IDC, DFC.
3 letters that can easily be twisted and mocked.
Yeah, not proper data. I don't care research.
Yeah, such classics as.
Yeah, one from the collection, that isn't it? Really. These consoles have been doing pretty well for now, but people seem to think it's going to be quite a short-term success. And I can totally see that, because with the yearly releases, I think Xbox One S came out about a year and a bit ago, and the X now, then maybe Xbox and Microsoft don't care how the X does next year, because they'll have Xbox One Z. Do you know what I mean? I don't think this is a sort of long-term plan for money. Whereas the Switch, I think Nintendo were going to settle in, and then there's not going to be another Nintendo console for another couple of years,
probably
right?
Get like different kind of versions of it or whatever, and they're not going to bring like a Switch Plus or something. I don't know. I would be surprised if they did that in the next couple of years anyway.
I just don't understand how they can't understand it. It's as simple as people want to play new games. They don't want to play a game that they bought 4 years ago again, 60 frames a second for an extra $500. No, of course they don't, you idiots. Apart from Mario Kart 8 Deluxe, in which case, Nintendo can do whatever they want, can't they?
What does it mean? They can do
Nintendo. Well, the thing about Mario Kart 8 is it was a Wii game.
Wasn't it a Wii U game?
That's what I'm saying. Sorry, a Wii U. Yeah.
Yeah. So literally no one played it, or a very small amount of people played it.
But they redid it, and it's the same old game.
Yeah.
And people love it. But if anyone else did it, it'll be like, oh, it's underperforming.
Yeah.
I don't know. This is.
And they do it to Ocarina of Time. How many times have they re-released that game? But
if it's about Skyrim, everyone complains. Ocarina of Time, you could read it out every year, and people would still buy it.
Yeah.
So what about you then, guys? If you could buy one console this year, what would it be? No smug PC Master Race comments, please. Let us know in the comments below. Remember to leave a like if you enjoyed the video. Subscribe if you're new around here. There's some more content on the screen right now. And there's also a link to our Patreon if you want to support the channel. Until then, we'll see you next time.